Hey guys, it's Mike from StarTune. Little DIY video for you guys about audio, the value of good audio and how you can get it on the cheap. We've got Brent from Tin Man going to tell you a little bit about how they've done things in the past, and our own Jesse Wyatt is going to fill you guys in on some resources, what's available to you guys on a budget, so your stuff sounds good.
Good audio can mean the difference in terms of how something is received.
Yes. Well, good audio is audio that isn't noticed. Bad audio gets noticed.
Okay.
Like it's like backgrounds. Like they're meant to be there. They're not meant to draw your attention. And when audio is bad and it draws the attention and you realize it takes you out of it, that you did that little twinge where you're like, that's what you want to avoid. How to do audio on a budget.
Yeah.
So if you're talking specifically about
Voice record,
then the best way to do it, really what you want to do is you want to avoid sound bouncing. If you're talking against a wall, for example, the sound is going to just bounce back and forth and back and forth. So even putting something at an angle helps. Everything helps.
Okay.
So really what you want to avoid is sitting in a box with hard walls talking, because the sound is just going to echo and reverberate. So what we would do back in the day to aid that is just take your recording device, whether that's your phone with your headphones plugged in. The iPhone earbuds are not bad microphones.
yeah, surprisingly good. Eh?
They're surprisingly good.
You guys tried out a lot of different mics.
We tried out some more expensive mics and some, a bunch of stuff, and in the end, like just plugging those in, making sure the room was quiet and talking into it sounded better. Because it's built so that you can be walking down the street and have a phone call.
Yeah.
And people aren't going to hear the truck going by. So they haven't built it for production. It does work not bad for production. What you can do is you can just build a little thing, whether it's out of like monitors or like things that stand up or whatever. Just take a blanket, build a little thing that you can lean into with your mic, and your script is on the ground there. The more cloth you can have, the better, because that'll just kill audio like that.
It absorbs it. Yeah.
And then you just talk in there and you record your voice that way. Or if you have a closet with a lot of clothes in, just like drape blankets and towels and stuff around.
Yeah.
And then talk. You don't want to talk right up against, because that's not any good either.
Right.
So you want to have a foot and a half or so on either side of.
You guys built a little box, didn't you? Like
We built a little box. I was looking for it earlier. We've since stripped it for parts.
Okay.
But yeah, we built a little box, and then we would put cloth. We just kind of stapled cloth on the inside, and that was our more legit version of that tent that you would just lean into.
Your head in.
You stick into, and it kills the echo.
Yeah.
And then you're able to get fairly decent sounding sound. So if you want sound that's going to sound okay, and it's not going to get noticed as bad, and you want to do it on a budget, that's the way to go.
Yeah. So not everybody can afford a sound studio.
Yeah. Nor could we up until, we built our own. So we got quotes to have people build us our sound studio, and they were astronomical.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, we can figure it out. So we built our own. If you happen to have a few $100, you can go to a place, like there's a sound recording place called Mock Sound that's on the east side. Their prices are pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And you can probably get a couple hours a session. So if maybe you and a few other guys want to go in on it together, you can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, and if you really, there are some, if you make the calls, you can often find places that are, I know there are a few places that kind of are keen to help out people starting out that way. And if you, if you're going to be in there for half an hour, sometimes people will actually take pity on you. And
yeah, and if you're able to direct your own voice, that helps, because voice directors can be expensive.
Yeah.
So if you're able to just be like, we don't need a voice director, we just need an engineer to work the stuff.
Any traps people fall into in terms of actual vocal performance in animation?
I'm really just getting into starting to direct our stuff.
Yeah.
Like we did have voice directors for a lot of our earlier stuff, or clients would provide the voice and we would just provide the animation. So it's something that's fairly new to me. But a couple of tidbits are bring apple slices. That's a trick. It just absorbs the saliva in your mouth. So if you start to get really those types of sounds,
okay, cool.
Just have them eat an apple slice. Have them make sure there's water, a little sip of water.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to say hey, can you take a little sip of water?
Yeah.
Because you need to get what you need to get out of your actor, and they won't be offended. I direct almost entirely through giving line reads, which is a big no-no. So in a lot of cases, it's insulting to say to an actor, say it like this. Mm-hmm. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In some cases, if you have an actor who's a little bit touchy about that, they might get offended, and they might think I'm the actor, I'm bringing the performance.
Right.
And that's a legitimate argument, but I don't have the tools currently to voice direct any other way.
Right.
I can make my voice sound like how it should sound and then tell you that. In a lot of the ways, that's the quickest point from A to B, is just, I know what I want, it's this to this.
But there's some talent management that's going to that.
Yeah, and I've been in the room with real voice directors who never give a line read, and they're able to just verbalize what they need the person to do, and it's amazing to watch. Yeah. I'm just not there yet.
Hey guys, Jesse coming in at ya. So I do a lot of the editing here at StarTune. Today I'm going to be talking about sound. Sound is super important. Recording really good audio is one of the easiest things you can do to elevate your video to looking really professional and sounding really professional. So one of the first things that I'm going to talk to you about is distance, which is really important. The distance between yourself or the subject, whoever is going to be performing the audio, and your recording device. Staying within 3 feet to about 1 meter is usually a good distance that you want to have. Second thing is that sound bounces and it echoes a lot. It's one of the problems that we actually have a lot in StarTune, is that our space is just all these hard surfaces. You can probably even hear a bit of echo going on right now. Ideally, what you want to be doing is recording your audio as clean as possible. And that means that it's just the audio without any background noise, any hums, refrigerator noise, things like that, some people talking in the other room, birds chirping outside, fans. So that's something that we are constantly dealing with, and it's something that you guys are probably dealing with a lot. It's really hard to get into a space, unless you have a lot of money, where you can isolate sound really well. So some things that you can do, actually, surround yourself with some carpet or some clothes to pad your walls. Actually, one of the really good things is going inside of your closet. If you're just you with a microphone and you can be inside of your closet and have all of your clothes around you, that's really going to absorb the sound, because it's a softer material and the sound's not going to actually bounce a lot off of it. So you're going to get much cleaner audio, much less echo. Another thing that I would say is definitely use headphones when you're recording. It may seem like an obvious thing. Some people don't do it. It's really good to get a proper sound quality. If you can get studio headphones as well, so that it's not mixing them. Sometimes a lot of headphones boost the bass and things like that. So if you can get some neutral sounding headphones that you can listen to the audio as it's being recorded, that will allow you to hear some things that you might not normally hear if you don't have the headphones on. So for example, if you have a refrigerator on, or some of those things we were talking about before, you'll get these buzzing sounds or like humming noises. That's part of your room tone. So what I would do is take a note of any of those things, see which ones that you can get rid of. If it's a refrigerator, you can unplug it. And then, very important, put a note on the refrigerator to plug it back in. Oftentimes sound people will ruin a bunch of food because they forget that crucial step. Another thing that I would say is your levels when you're recording. That's gonna control the amplitude of your recording. So if it's too quiet, you're gonna say, oh man, I recorded too quietly, I need to boost it up later. But when you're boosting it up, you're not only boosting up the audio, but you're boosting up all that background noise. Even if you isolate the refrigerator and get rid of that, you're still gonna have room tone in the background that's gonna give you a little bit of a hum if you boost it all up. So try to record in the threshold of -6 to -12 decibels. Okay, that's gonna give you a pretty good range that you wanna be hitting. That's not gonna be too high so that you're gonna be peaking, because you definitely don't want to peak your audio when it hits the red or when it hits 0 decibels. It's going to actually crunch the audio and you won't be able to bring back that data. But you don't want to be too low that when you bring it up later, you get all that other noise. And then obviously the recording equipment is kind of crucial sometimes too. Everybody wants to save money and you're doing stuff DIY, so as cheap as you can get is good, but you still want to be able to find some good equipment to record with. So what I would say is good for you guys is getting some audio recorders. So audio recorders you can get pretty cheap. The Zoom H1 is about $89. That is not actually the Zoom H1, but it is a Zoom. Also the Zoom 4N is about $200. It's a little bit more expensive. You can just bring that into your closet with you, hold it, within that distance, and you know, it's going to be an asset that you can use in the future. I guarantee it. So if you are getting a mic, there's what you call the Singer mics. So it's just like a handheld mic that you put on a mic stand. Those are cardioid mics. So that's because the pickup pattern is spherical, just like the way that it looks. It's not gonna have a pickup pattern below where the stand part is. It's just gonna be spherical like this. You wanna hold it really close. I'd go with either one of the Singer mics, a cardioid, or go with an audio recorder. Those are gonna be your best bets for the types of stuff that you guys are doing. Yeah, so that's basically it. Obviously, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email us at info@startune.ca. We would love to have some emails come in and to answer some of your questions. Like, good luck with the recording on the first challenges. We're really excited to see what you guys are gonna make and to see what you do with the audio, because sound in animation can make a huge difference. And so use that asset to your advantage, guys. All right, so it's been fun, and I'll probably see you again in another video. Cheers, guys.
So that is our audio video. We'll be back next week with more. In the meantime, follow us, subscribe on YouTube, follow us, and check things out at startune.ca.